Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Ayo, God. You give me breath. You keep me fresh. So check my mic. Check my life. Check my sight. You get me right. Make me new. That's what you do. You're my truth.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's your girl on the To Be Called podcast, and I am excited to upload some more good words for your soul. Thank you all so much for allowing me to meet you in your living rooms, in your cars, in your workspaces, and your private places. Thank you for allowing me in, and to remember, make sure that you pay attention to the words that you speak over your life. By the time you hear this podcast, this episode, I don't know what have transpired from the last episode to now. If there's something going on in your life and you're finding it hard to deal with it by yourself, do reach out to God first. Lay your problems before Him. Cry, get it out. Ugly nose, ugly face, cry. Do those type of things where you get all the snot out or those silent cries. Find a praise and worship song to put on and spend time in the shower singing to Him or in the bathtub, bubble bathing. Your choice, but remember to be mindful of your words as well as remember I am not a medical doctor. So if there's something medically wrong with you, please go and check it out, but take it to God first because He knows all about it, because He formed you in your mother's womb before she knew you. Well, this week we are going to talk about fear and being in the background. Last episode was about the language of fear, the words that you choose to speak over your life. And we know that from certain scriptures and some examples, and more examples that you all may have, that there are ramifications for those negative words that you choose to speak over your life. Well, this week we're going to look at fear and being in the background. So, the background. And sometimes shy people or introverted people, they like to be in the background because I don't got to see nobody. Nobody has to see me. Well, when you're in the background where fear wants you to be, that way nobody can't see you, hear you, acknowledge you because the other person up in the front is getting noticed for their movement while you're in the back. And that's what fear wants to do. And we've been talking about fear for a while now, and we're going to continue. We have a lot more episodes to go on fear. And a lot of people probably have thought that how much fear can you talk about? A lot. So fear and being in the background. Fear and putting you in the background creates this facade. And what do I mean by facade? When you think of facade from an architectural point of view, a building that has a beautiful front, a front face, or it gives you, if you ever been to a bistro or certain restaurants that give you that Parisian feel, even though you're not in Paris, it creates the facade that you're in Paris because now there's the ambiance. And now you're going to come in and vivre, and you're going to want to speak the language and eat the food, and that's what it's supposed to do. And if you're eating fear's food, then you're going to find yourself in the background this episode. And if you're in the background and God told you to be there, then you be obedient. But you listen to what you need to get while you're in the background until it's time for you to move up front because you will need to apply all of those skill sets. So facade is defined, I'm sorry, not designed. Facade is defined as a false appearance that makes someone or something seem more pleasant or better than they really are. Now pause for a second. You know you've gone to the store and you purchased something, your favorite thing, or something you thought was going to be all of that. The packaging, the word of mouth, the advertising, the TikTok trend, only to find out that it bombed. It did not meet the standards. So a false appearance that makes someone or something seem more pleasant or better than they really are. Facade is also the way that somebody or something appears to be, which is different from the way somebody or something really is. So you're appearing to be in a way that you're really not. Facade is a false, superficial, or artificial appearance or effect. An example, the front of a building again. Some condos or townhomes have those fake windows that make you feel like, oh, it's nice. I got a porch to look over. They give you the appearance of that to kind of give you something to say, well, I like the house may not have, or the apartment or the condo may not have a balcony, but it gives the feeling of it. All the other things are great. So the facade, the balcony, facade balcony, I am not going to too much worry about that because I have all the other counterparts that makes it great. A person's facade, a person can put on a facade. They appear to be something that they really are not. So you see the pretty girl, get to know her, find out she has no substance. You meet the pretty guy, the handsome guy. Meet him, talk with him, none of it matches, none of it adds up. You meet the person who you think is unattractive, right? And you meet that person, and the opposite could be that that person has something to offer. But the examples that I'm showing you is that a person's facade can be something, make them appear to be something that they are not. And that's the same thing with something, a thing, a building. And the problem with the facade is that that's what fear does. It gives you this feeling of, okay, it's good to be in the back. So now you're like, oh, I'm in the back. I'm going to do what y'all got to do. That's okay. I'm going to go home at 3 o'clock. I clock out at 1:59. Y'all can stay there. That's why I'm hiding in the back. I'm in the cut so nobody can see you, right? Because it makes you feel like it's safety, but it's really a lie. It's giving you this false appearance that if you stay to the back, nobody will see you. Nobody can't mess with you. You won't have to worry about this. You won't have to worry about that because you're in the back. And that's the lie that the facade gives you. The same thing like the facade giving you the appearance of a balcony when there is no balcony. The facade giving you the appearance of Paris being on a bistro, but there is no Paris. So the facade of with fear of putting you in the background is that it's pretty back there. Then you won't be doing your calling if God called you to be up front. So it gives you this facade of lies, starting with safety. You feel safe. Again, I'm in the cut. Nobody can bother me back here. Nobody won't see me. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. Which is not true. Because people will see you. Everybody that is alive is being watched by someone or looked at by someone when you go to work, when you go to that particular Target or Walmart that you shop at, or Lowe's or Ross, whatever store you go to, right? Another way that the facade is a lie is because you get to feel that it relieves you of responsibilities. So if I stay in the back, I don't have to do as much as the person in the front. If I stay in the back, I will be relieved of my duties from people. If mommy doesn't see you, if daddy doesn't see you, they'll call your other brother and sister, right? If your friends don't see you, don't hear from you, right? Then they can't call you to do anything because they'll have the other people that are in their face to be responsible for whatever it is that they're responsible for. On the job, your supervisor doesn't see you, then they can't say, hey, I noticed this, and that. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I've been on jobs where I've heard people say, man, I'm going to go hide in the back. I'm going to go hide in the break room. I'm going to go hide in the bathroom. I'm going to go do this. Because it will relieve them from people, from the responsibilities of people. So now I don't have to be seen for anybody to call me to do any more work. Supervisor can't call you to do any work if they don't see you. You're in and out. If you're in and out at church and they don't see you, you slip in and slip out, you don't have to do nothing, right? You're in school, you get in and get out, you hide to the back, you don't have to do anything. until the teacher does notices that and call you out. Or you're relieved from the responsibility from yourself, your duties from yourself. If you hide from yourself, then you don't have to take care of self. You don't have to love self, pamper self. You don't have to take self to the gym, take self to the doctor, take self to eat healthy, take self to go out and have some leisure time because you're hiding in the back. So you stay in the bed all day. Listen to sad songs. You become suicidal and all the other idols. And you make them idols. And God does not honor idolatry. Or you feel relieved of your duties from God, like Jonah, Jeremiah, and Joseph. If I hide, then I don't have to do what God is wanting me to do. Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. That's accountability. Imagine that God is saying to you right now that you need to go down the street to the next block and minister to those people about using word curses. And what if you think that they're your enemies? You're going to go around to the next block. You're going to drive another way, walk another way, bike another way. You're not going to try to put yourself in the presence of that community, especially if you feel that they're your enemies. So now I don't have to do their responsibility. Now I'll let God pick somebody else to go tell the neighbors that. Jeremiah, being younger, felt like he was too young to do what he was called to do, to go let the people know what they were doing, and he had a hard time doing that. He felt afraid, and he felt like, why would the people? They're not listening. Why would they listen to him? The same way with Joseph, Jesus' father. Fear putting you in the back, making you feel like it's Joseph's father, that, yeah, I'm married to this lady, but how is she pregnant? And who impregnated her if I am her husband? When I am betrothed to her, right? So how was that supposed to be? So then Joseph entertains for a little bit, the possibility of divorcing her. He had doubt. And that facade of, oh, but I'm the husband and she shouldn't have been pregnant. And if I go ahead and divorce her, then I won't have to worry about this. But God assigned Joseph to marry. So if he did that, he would have forfeited his role as father. So the accountability would have went out the door. So again, Jonah going to Nineveh, Jeremiah not wanting to go before the people because he was younger, Joseph doubting, wanting to divorce Mary. And then on the other hand, the facade leads you into a lie to believe that you will be relieved from your calling. Peter, Jeremiah, Jonah, Moses. Think about Peter, and I want to use this situation as to refer to his calling. Part of his calling is when he denied Jesus, and Jesus told him that he would deny him, and he told him that he wouldn't deny him. But he did when it was time for him to speak up. Fear placed him in the background. All this time he walked alongside Jesus. All this time he broke bread with Jesus. But then he reaches a place to where it's now, okay, I better not say that I know Jesus. Because if I say that I know Jesus, there it goes. Everybody's looking for him. I don't want to be associated with that. Nope, I don't know Jesus. Nope, I don't know Jesus. Nope, I don't know Jesus. 3 times. But I knew you the other days before those 3 times. But in the background, he didn't feel good about that. He had to deal with that. Jeremiah had to deal with wanting to evade being in the front and carrying out what God called him to, because he was in the background consumed with his what if. What if the people this? What if the people that? What if the people that? Jonah, the same thing. But he ends up in the well. He doesn't want to go to Nineveh. How many of us didn't want to go to Nineveh? So we took an ulterior motive. I mean, not ulterior motive, but alternate route with the intentions of evading the calling, the heaviness of it. It's understandable why anybody would be afraid of having someone say all these negative things to you, not receiving you, because to not be received at times can be daunting. It could feel horrible. So all of that is understandable. Moses was supposed to go to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. He didn't want to do that. He didn't feel that he was capable of doing that. He wanted to be behind the scenes. God still worked with him. And neither of these men, even though they thought they were evading their calling, they didn't. Because in the end, it worked out to where they still had to pass through it. And those are people that I will challenge you to look up in the Bible if you want to further read their stories. You might relate to Peter, Jeremiah, Jonah, or Moses, right? So even though they wanted to hide behind the scenes and not be associated, not go and carry the word out, they ended up still, in a sense, coming into their calling, even though they thought they weren't going to. Even though they didn't want to go into their calling because of fear. And even still, because they belonged to God and they walked with God, He still turned it around and they had to come out the background. So let's do a little mini review really quickly before I close out today. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day thus far. And wherever you are located, I hope that you are drinking lots of water, going to the gym, going to a spa, whether you are male or female, getting that back rub, face scrub, getting your heels scrubbed, getting the manicure, getting the massage. Maybe you're making plans to travel somewhere over the next weeks or for the summer. Find somewhere to go that is very new that you've never done before, where you've never went to before. Find somewhere that's in your backyard that you could do a staycation. That's what I hope you would do for the relief of stress throughout the week, because it is not easy being faith-based. So facade, again, is something that appears to be that it's not. And it gives you this false sense of safety, relief of your duties, relief from your calling, because of the fear, you decide to play it small. You don't want to bring any attention to yourself. So you stay in the background when God has called you to move up front. For those of you who know that I'm speaking directly to your situation, I challenge you to go before God and talk to Him about you being in the background. Read some scriptures, find some praise and worship songs, and wait and let God answer back to you what it is that you need to do to move about in the background. Because the background doesn't have to be forever. It can be only for a season until it's time for you to move up front. So again, I hope that you all will further study some of the scriptures that I mentioned, the stories that I mentioned, I apologize, right? And go further into their lives and see how God turns it around for their good. That's what He says in His word, that He will take what was meant for your harm to use it for your good. Now remember, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but one of a love and sound mind. And I hope that you will continue to walk knowing that God wants you to walk with a sound mind and let go whatever's been blocking you or causing you to be fearful. This is your girl signing off. Until we see each other again, thank you, and remember, I love you and so does God. Thank you.
It's been so much fun. It's your girl signing off on the ones and twos, but not without Him. You're going to have to choose. So seek His kingdom first, and all things shall be added unto you. I ain't nothing without you, Abba. Mic check, mic check.